Hey, what's going on, YouTube? What's up? What's up? What's up? This is your certified life and relationship coach, Coach Court. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the fearful avoidant female and the anxiety that they feel and its turmoil that they feel when it comes to relationships, when it comes to getting close to people, and how they struggle in that way. I did a video yesterday that talked about the fearful avoidant males and the indecisiveness that they feel. But today I want to go into the fearful women and how they struggle. They struggle with a lot of fear and anxiety. They live in their head a lot. But before I get into the content, I want to thank you guys again for everybody signing up for the Harvest Level membership. I look forward to giving you guys your 20-minute calls. I look forward to working with you guys in the group format. And I look forward to the community growing and this YouTube channel continuing to grow. We're almost at 4K. I couldn't have done that without any of you guys. I do appreciate that. I didn't know that my life would be here today by simply sharing the things with you guys that I study for personal development myself, but for also to help you guys in supporting your situations in your relationship or your situationships or your life is all about relations. All right, you have a relationship to everybody that you come across in life. If you hire a Uber driver, you're the customer. If you go to the grocery store, you're the customer. They're your cashier. It's all relationships. Now, when it comes to romantic relationships, that's when you have to be a little bit more picky and selective about the people that you let into your life, and especially the people that you allow to stay in your life when you do have them. So, with that being said, let's get to the content. If you want my help personally, reach out to me on my website at www.fruitfulseeds.com. I'm always responding to emails when I can. I have to focus on my paying clients first, though, so please be patient with me. I do appreciate your support and your love. Thank you, guys. Namaste. Let's get to it. So, the fearful avoidant female, and I don't remember what I titled this video. I may need to like pull it up on my own little screen here. The fearful avoidant female and how they struggle with a lot of different anxieties. Um, like I said before, they live in their head a lot because they have been conditioned subconsciously to be that way. They're always hyper vigilant and on a state of high alert for imminent threats or emotional threats, physical threats, whatever it may be. And I can remember when I was taking a training back, I want to say it's 2021 now. Wow. 2013, 2014. It was a training called Trauma Informed Care. And basically they talked about how we all have certain levels of trauma within us that we don't even realize. Most of it is subconscious. And when your fight or flight gets activated repeatedly, it essentially becomes uh, maladaptive. So instead of it becoming adaptive, where you learn to like vet out the threats and the potential threats, it becomes maladaptive. It breaks. So every time you get that heart rate up, it is essentially breaking you because you're going to eventually become um, desensitized to that adrenaline and that amount of protectiveness that you essentially we all need in order to survive in the world. So they're constantly in hyper mode. But I guess you could say that about all attachment styles. Anybody that struggles with anxiety, panic attacks, couple people I know personally in my own personal life, they struggle with that too, panic attacks. And it's interesting because when they're in that state, it's really hard for them to calm themselves and to bring themselves back to square one or back to a center state. This is why I meditate. This is why I practice all those different type of techniques to help me become more emotionally stable and emotionally intelligent. Because they say emotional intelligence is better than IQ. EQ is better than IQ because if you can relate to people and you know how to control your emotions in any situation, um, you can essentially calm yourself down, de-escalate issues, de-escalate problems, and you're just a better person to be around, and you can pick up on different vibes. And it's all about the good vibes only here. If you're coming in here, you want to join my membership, I appreciate you guys. Give me a like for this. Give me a like to show your support. Share this with somebody if you feel like they need this information. So I got 4 bullet points here. The first one is they live in their head a lot, and I've already said this. It's a constant state of anxiety and a constant state of hypervigilance about something to come or something that is going to repeat itself. Because they say that trauma is something that happened to you that shouldn't have happened, or something that should have happened but that didn't happen. Now, that's some interesting stuff right there. If you really break that down and think about your life and where you're at, I'm pretty sure you can identify a lot of those times that, something traumatic happened to you. All right, second bullet point. They're always thinking about the worst case scenario. So it can be something totally safe, a totally comforting environment. Honestly, I felt like growing up in the neighborhood that I grew up, it kept me really hyper vigilant about certain situations, like walking down the street, sitting in drive-throughs. Um, but it's like if you think about that, like the survival that I had to feel in a society, in a community, compared to how the survival that they feel in a relationship or a romantic relationship. So I can remember flashbacks, like even to this day, like I have a hard time keeping my doors unlocked, trusting people. It's just I have this state of hypervigilance too, and this is probably a sign of me being my anxious preoccupied coming out too, because anxious preoccupied people too have this constant state of like I have to do something in order to make this situation better or make it more safe, to make it secure, to lock it down, and that's just it's all fear. It's all fear based. It's all rooted in some type of insecurity and in some type of fear. So they always picture the worst case scenario out of self protection. So when it's time to cut and run, they can do that. The next bullet point that I have is they're really uncomfortable with people who are overly lovey dovey or somebody that looks like they're trying to get them to lower their walls a little too quickly. This is interesting because you can take somebody who's secure and is, doing the natural state of the courtship. They're trying to, court the person and show them that they're a safe bet or they're somebody that's going to be comforting and supportive. But if you're fearful and they're trying to do that to you, you think like, all right, what's to come here? Something's happening. This is really uncomfortable. This feels like I'm being re-traumatized all over again because something happened in my past that they made me feel the same exact way, and I felt comforted and I felt safe, and all of a sudden the rug got pulled from under me, and uh, I wasn't treated right, or I wasn't violated. I was re-traumatized. Be curly. Hey, thanks for joining. Appreciate you guys for being here. Here's my daily dose of common sense. What's up, Glenn? It's good to see you, man. And the last one. Um, I think I already said this one. They struggle with anxiety and panic attacks because they're constantly thinking about what could happen. What's the worst case scenario here? How is this going to blow up in my face? How is me telling them this story about me going to come back to bite me later on down the line? How is me allowing for them to pick me up from my house or come over to my house going to blow up on me later on down the line? There's something happening here. This person is trying to uh, manipulate me in some way, shape, or form, and it's just not true. That's all fear-based. I'm not saying it's 100% of the time, but you have to be able to, like I said before, there's a book called um, Emotional Intelligence. It's a book that I was listening to not too long ago, actually. Let me see if I can check, because I want you guys to listen to this one because it really helped me figure some things out myself. Um, Bear with me, people. Share the feed, like the feed. Where is it? There it is. Emotional Intelligence 2.0. And the book, I listened to the audio book. I can include that link down below if you guys are interested. Emotional Intelligence 2.0. And what it does is it gives like different examples on people's emotional intelligence and how they respond to certain situations. This is like social cues within like the way a person is like body posturing. It's a really cool book. DA left. What's up, Diego? DA left to work on themselves and having a hard time letting go. 2 months, no contact. Work on themselves. You know, if it's honestly, emotional maturity. That's a good question. What do you guys think? Do fearful avoidants lack emotional maturity? I don't know about that one. There it is. I said it. I don't know that answer. Because I've met people on both sides of the fence where some of them were just a little too emotionally intelligent and they were able to predict breakups happening. And then there were some that were kind of oblivious to. I think we all can use some work on our emotional intelligence. It's for me too. It's going to be a lifelong journey. Yeah, Emma, she said, I don't agree with that at all. Appreciate you chiming in there. You know, from what I hear from people in the community, they tend to feel like the dismissive ones are the ones that lack emotional intelligence. But I have to disagree with that one too, you know. And this is why I started this community. I've seen way too many um, negative communities out there that are just tearing down people. When I got into this work, I worked with at-risk youth for 14 years. And I felt like I was successful in that job because I always went into new caseloads with an optimistic view. Like I didn't look at their case and think about, all right, this is going to be a tough one. They were never guilty before proven innocent to me. They were always innocent to proven guilty. And then even then, I look at their background. I look at, you know, where they came from, what they've had to experience. And I chose to just see the good in all of them. So I guess it's really hard for me to focus on the negative parts of anybody. And you'll get that shines through in my coaching sessions. If you ever booked a one-on-one coaching session with me, I try not to talk bad about people. I try to see things as accurate as I can, but don't assign any type of judgment behind it. So my FA ex broke up suddenly without warning 2 months ago and blocked me everywhere. I think she was self-aware, but just went on the negative feedback loops and overwhelmed herself. Yeah, they do freeze up. They freeze up and they think like, all right, this is too comfortable. This is weird. This person is too safe. What's he hiding? Why am I feeling this way? They flight. They just take flight. That's that fight or flight. It activates in them. It's like, all right, this is healthy and it's weird and it's uncomfortable. If you go through my other videos, I got a lot of fearful avoidant videos. Read that comment section, and they say a lot. I see a lot of women that say that it's not that I don't like healthy relationships, it's that it's new to me and it feels awkward to be in. Because they struggle with a lot of insecurities. And when they're in a relationship with somebody that's going to call out that insecurity, or that they let close enough that they can potentially see that insecurities in them, it makes them want to run, and it makes them because at the end of the day, they don't feel worthy. They don't feel worthy of being in. And I think that's all unhealthy attachment styles, is your self-worth and what you feel you deserve in a relationship. Some people, they respond one way where if a person starts to pull away, they're thinking like, oh my God, I knew this was going to happen, and they pull away. Or the other one's like, yeah, this is just not for me. You're asking way too much for me. And then they pull away. All right, I'm gonna read this last one and I gotta take off. Personally, as a FA, thank you, Emma. Personally, as a FA, I feel very in tune with others and their emotions. It really sucks being so aware of every little thing, Q, that every person around me gives off. Yes, that has got to be exhausting. So would you say, comment down below, if you think that fearful avoidants are really strong empaths and that they really feel the energy and channels people's energy. Comment down below. Yes, tell me your story if you have one. Are FAs capable of long distance relationships? I've seen them. I've seen long distance relationships with fearful avoidance. They ended up ending before they were able to cohabitate or come together. They ended up ending, but um, I've seen them. All right, guys. See you guys later. Thank you for joining the community. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I appreciate you guys helping grow this channel, keeping it positive, keeping it loving, supporting each other. And I appreciate you guys supporting me financially or with just likes, loves, comments. Some you guys don't understand. Like, I study this stuff so much. Like, I'm constantly listening to books and Jim Rohn, Napoleon Hill. I'm listening to that stuff all the time. So when I get these messages that say, I really appreciate what you do, it really like re-energizes me. It gives me new life. So Wayne Dyer said that you don't want to die with your music still in you. You know, and what he felt like his song was to be writing books and to be talking to people and encouraging people. And this is my song too. I don't want to die with it still in me. So if you guys come back to this 10 years after I'm gone, you know, just know that I played my song as best I could, and I tried to help as many people as I could. So love you guys. Thank you. Namaste. Have a good day.